In the Spotlight is an autobiographical short film focusing on what dance is to four individuals from Sadler's Wells Residence Performance Group, Company of Elders. The Company of Elders are a group of 22 non-professional dancers aged 60 and over. The four dancers featured in this short film have been dancing with the company for a number of years. They've worked with a range of professional choreographers to create dance works that have been performed at Sadler's Wells and beyond. During the film, each of the dancers are performing their own individual choreography and improvising underneath professional theatre lights. Sadler's Wells Lillian Bailey's studio is the backdrop to their voiceovers, which gives a very personal insight into what dance means to each of them, expressing their connections and feelings they have when they move. Isidora Joseph. Isidora describes herself as a black older woman with short cropped grey hair. Wearing a full-length sleeveless black dress, she opens the film on a dark stage against a low spotlight. The light resonates around her as she expressively arches backwards and her fingertips reach outwards, penetrating the light. Gradually, the title of the film, In the Spotlight, comes into focus. Her movements come from somewhere deep within, arms pushing away as she curves and contracts her torso, slowly against the moody atmospheric haze and warm light that her limbs cut through. In silhouette, her movement later switches to free-flowing hips and shoulders, beams of rainbow lights refracting off her. An artistic shadow briefly appears behind her. Linda Lewcock. Linda describes herself as an older white woman in her 80s. She's wearing a long black pinafore over a long-sleeved claret top with matching lipstick. Her dark grey bobbed hair swishes as she turns. On an otherwise dark stage, a pool of light searches out Linda. She moves with her eyes closed, exploring the space around herself. With articulated fingers, wrists turning and spiralling to her sides, her arms wrap closely around herself, and then open expansively as she opens her eyes, turning barefooted, smiling joyfully underneath her spotlight. Stephen Rowe. Stephen describes himself as a white man in his early 70s, camping it up like it's going out of fashion. Stephen joyfully performs jazz steps, travelling through the dappled lights cast on the stage from the suspended glitter ball above him. A series of high kicks, explosive arm gestures and jazz hands. He turns across the stage, body pulled up, stepping onto the ball of his foot, a stretched toe cutting in to touch his knee on each spin, his arms opening out to the sides, relishing in his moment on stage underneath the lights. Dahlia Douglas. Dahlia describes herself as an older, petite, black female dancer, with her dark hair styled in plaited ringed dreadlocks. Wearing silver-rimmed glasses and a flashy, colourful, wide-sleeved tunic top, she has black sparkly boots on underneath her cream trousers. She always has a radiant smile on her face as she moves. Movement pulsates through her body with confidence as she turns and her body moves sinuously. The metallic threads of her vibrant top glows in the yellow sunshine spotlight behind. Against a bright white light, Isidora arches, lifting her arms. Her outstretched arms cross in front of her. Facing the light, she curves to the side. Turning, she lifts a long arm. The title, In the Spotlight, appears against a radiating light. Linda.
I move now because it's essential. Being more myself than I ever am.
Stephen.
I feel so alive when I'm dancing. I can't imagine life without it.
Dahlia.
I love to dance. I love to dance.
Isidora.
It's a bit like trying to find myself. So I'm in my own world while I'm in your world.
Dahlia against a bright yellow light.
When you hear the rhythm, something inside goes. It gives me a sense of freedom and it's self-expression. Because it's a creative art, I enjoy it.
Isidora moving expansively with an inner connection.
But it is the innards coming out. And sometimes it's sad. It's not always joyful, but it doesn't have to be always joyful to be enjoyed.
when I dance, it feels ordinary. It doesn't feel like it's theatrical or anything. It just feels ordinary.
Twisting, Linda crosses her arms around her chest, the camera focusing on the blue stone in her ring. She opens her arms, dropping her head back. She turns.
I like to be surprised, and then I surprise myself, and I love that element.
She turns barefoot, arms wide open in her pool of light. Stephen.
There's something about show dancing that is fabulous. when the 20 dancers are in perfect unison, especially tap numbers and things where it's so tight. I mean, wow, fabulous.
He strikes a pose, arms shooting out to the sides as he travels. Isidora.
If there is a song or something comes up, something will come out. I have a few favourites that I like to just shake to.
For that moment, I'm not a mother, I'm not a wife, I'm not a sister, because you are you, but you don't have any role to play that might interfere with you somehow.
It's something just deep inside that brings me huge joy. It saved my life in many ways.
Celebrating life through dance. Yes, to me, to dance, I'm alive. And dance is life.
Stephen's hips circle underneath the glitter ball. Rising up and down, he turns, tipping sideways. With a sachet of his hips and a raised arm, he walks up stage, the lights shimmering. The lights click off. Filmmaker Sarah Vaughan-Jones, technicians Rich Yori and Jenny Cashman, project manager Elaine Foley, originally commissioned by Sadler's Wells in loving memory of Rich Yori. Sadler's Wells Digital Stage.